So in this video, I'm just going to take Princess out for a little test run. I have her almost completely maxed out. She's at level 89, and eventually I'll max her out so then she's level 90. She's only a 6-star because in the teddy bear event, I was not able to get even close to the number of bears I would need in order to get her as an S-class. So even as a 6-star, she has a very powerful rush. 800% damage is a huge amount of damage to a line of toons. And then her active skill is of course one of a kind with Normalize, which basically nullifies specialist skills. And when it's combined with Berserker, because she also taunts 3 enemies into her, it makes her super powerful. One thing you do need to watch out for is that she doesn't die when she taunts enemies into her, because obviously her defense and HP stat is not as high as her attack. On her weapon, I put a huge bonus to AP when attacking, and only got 3% attack, but I'm going to leave it for now because war is this weekend, and I don't really want to reset it and try to get that perfect weapon for her yet. Instead, I have something usable, and the next time I craft, I might just get a very large bonus to AP when attacking, which would still be usable behind a huge lead, but I'm going to leave it for now. Mod-wise, I went with attack set mods, an attack mod, HP mod, as well as a graze mod so that she can survive when she takes hits, when she uses her taunt ability, attack versus alert because of all the alert toons out there, and a impair resist because I'm out of stun resist. So now I'm just going to show you Princess in a team. I'm constructing a team kind of from scratch, but not really. I kind of have an idea of who I want to put in the team anyway when taking on these opponents. I'm planning on making a complete range team, and as you see, I put Dale in the 3rd slot to begin with, but then I moved him to the 4th spot, and that's just because of the layout of the toons when they appear on the screen and kind of my strategy for when I attack in order to help me save some time. So of course Princess is going to be my damage dealer. I'm contemplating Mr. Jones here, but I might need a toon that gives me a little bit more control as well as power. And I'm definitely going to go with Priya as my lead. I think I'll try out Mercer here. Now I have 2 of them as 6-stars right now. This is my defensive one with HP, so my other one has an attack weapon right there. I'm still working on getting more attack on it because I do plan on using him in the coming war. I'm just going to fly through some matches just to show you the effectiveness of Princess. So first match, I start out by using Cole as per usual, and then I attack another target. I don't want to try and hit absolute defense because I could gain no AP, but it's also difficult to attack someone who has a stun weapon, because even with stun resist, you could still get stunned. I use Princess's Normalize and it kind of works out perfectly. It does Jesus, it does Kapoor, and it doesn't matter about Michelle because she doesn't have a specialist skill. But I like the 3 toons that she taunted. It's just Michelle that really has any power behind her. So she's the only one that I'm worried about when she's forced to attack my Princess, because Princess really gets a lot of attack from Berserker when she's constantly attacked, and Kapoor doesn't do much damage, and neither did Shield Jesus. So what you'll notice a lot in my videos, like any video that I do, I have the same general strategy whenever I attack. I always try to taunt or at least control at the beginning, and then after that point, I build AP in order to get my rushes ready, and then I kind of systematically pick through different toons based on how much of a threat they are, and kind of give them team grades almost as to who's important and who's not. Well, not even who's important and who's not, but who I need to deal with this turn right now and who I can wait. So by letting Green Garrett go off, for instance, it doesn't really do much. Like, his rush doesn't cause me a lot of damage. It gives him a bit of bonus HP, but it's not something like James going off and possibly destroying my defensive team, or Kapoor going off and giving a huge defensive boost, or if Pete was still around, Pete going off and reviving characters, giving a guardian shield as well as HP. Now, obviously, this is a raid, so time doesn't matter as much. There is a timer on the raids, but it's not like war where you have to go really, really fast, and if you go too slow, your camp is probably destroyed already. So this team that I'm fighting now, I'm a little unfamiliar with a couple of the toons on it. Like, I don't see many lances and Hengyan, although I have a 6-star one. I don't know him very well. So this is a kind of risky team to taunt Toons on, only because Toons like Henyon can decapitate. Not that it matters because I don't have a reviver, but he can get a double attack off and he has the trade advantage against all my blue Toons. Then we have Priya, who does a massive amount of damage. Mercer, who can stun on his rush. Lance has a turn 3 recover all penalties active skill, so that's something I need to be aware of and control, because if he goes off, then anything that I have on any of the Toons right now just means nothing. So Mercer's a good Toon to use on offense just because of that 2-turn stun to 3 enemies. If it works in all 3, you just have a massive amount of time to do whatever you want. Now, what I like about this attack team is that it has a nice balance of control as well as power. We have Cole, obviously, who can taunt on his rush and his active skill. We have Mercer, who on his rush can stun the enemy. We have Dale, who's a great commander, has an active focus and 100% heal reduction, as well as his rush causing a bit of maim damage, but mainly the minus 60% defense to all Toons on the opponent's team. When we take a look at Princess, obviously her active skill with taunt as well as normalize, and then her powerful rush is a huge plus. Priya with her lead skill, a huge bonus to AP when attacking and plus 50% attack for all range characters. Her active skill, as you've seen in other videos, can also be utilized under certain conditions. She is mega powerful, and then she can also apply Impair and Confuse to a line of enemies, depending on where she first initially attacks. Now, I'm actually considering this team now for war, just because it does have everything I kind of need to be effective. Like, I still really favor my Diego team because I can command rush him on turn 2. Meanwhile, I have to wait until turn 3 to really use Dale with his rush or his active skill, but I do really love Princess. My main issue I find is that I feel like she will end up dying when she uses her normalize ability because it has the taunt, and I'm not sure how I want to adjust her mods so that she survives a bit longer. I could end up removing the attack set mod and instead put a defensive mod there. I would end up losing out on 505 attack, which isn't too much when you think about how much she actually gets buffed because of her berserker ability, so when she's attacked, and her weapon, which gives her the chance to actually buff herself even more. Like in this match, you saw she ended up dying after taunting the enemy into her. And against S-Class Toons, like if we have an S-Class Arav, and I accidentally taunt him into her, it's basically saying, kill me now, and have another turn right away because you can use follow-up. So I'd likely have Arav rushing on me and potentially killing a whole line of Toons. Now, after watching a number of my videos, you've probably noticed that I end up targeting Pete a lot. And part of it's because he has a bound weapon that makes him a safe target. And by safe target, I mean he's a red Toon that usually does not have a stun gun, which means I can attack him and gain AP for my team in a safe and effective manner. So if anyone's looking to kind of replicate the team that I'm using right now, but you don't have specific Toons, there are a lot of different Toons you could probably sub in. I want to keep Princess here because she's kind of the whole point of this team. Priya as a lead, as a 6-star or an S-Class is pretty decent because her rush is still pretty much the same. It's just a matter of power being changed. Instead of Mercer, you could use Mr. Jones, for example. Give Mr. Jones a double attack weapon so that on his rush, he's able to attack 3 to 6 times, and each of those attacks could be a critical hit. Because confounding triggers on a critical attack, it means you have a decent chance of confounding the enemy, which gives you a fair amount of control on top of the overall power. Now, when attacking this team, it's put together pretty well. As we see, I'm not able to taunt anyone, so I have to use Priya to daze Doc, and then I gain some AP off of Pete. Now on this turn, I need to figure out how I'm going to stop these Toons from rushing. So I normalize them to start off because it also taunts them and I'm lucky because there's no real heavy attackers on this defensive team. I need to be aware of Slater because he has a couple different ways of reviving, both on his rush and with his active skill. Cam, obviously, with his bide, and then his infinite taunt loop. Pete can revive too with a guardian shield, and then Dr. Stevens, of course, is Dr. Stevens. Now I want to make sure that Cam dies, which is why I use Princess's Rush first, and then followed up with Mercer next, because I would be able to stun 3 enemies, and in this case, Pete did not get stunned, but I still had Priya's Rush, and she was able to take out Pete as well as Dr. Stevens, and then the match was over. Overall, I really do enjoy this team. I think it could be super effective, and I'm really enjoying Princess. Thanks everyone for watching and listening to my video, and don't forget to subscribe.